people are upset with Joe Biden, I think because they either don't know or they forget the kinds of things Joe Biden's capable of, right? You might have heard of the 1994 crime bill in the United States, one of the most massive pieces of anti-crime legislation ever passed. Joe Biden was actually one of the people behind that. If you watch the video of Clinton signing it, Biden is one of the first people he hugs. But people forget that Joe Biden was also behind the 1986 Anti-Drug Abuse Act. And in that legislation, there was something called the 100-to-1 rule. 100-to-1 rule meant if you were caught with any amount of crack cocaine, you would get the same mandatory minimum sentence as 100 times the amount in powder cocaine. Same drug, different forms. So if you got caught with 50 grams of crack, the size of a Snickers bar, you would get the same 10-year minimum prison sentence as someone carrying a 5-kilo briefcase of powder cocaine. White people, more likely to use powder cocaine. Black people, more likely to use crack cocaine. White people, the vast majority of cocaine users during the war on drugs. But of course, they were not the ones who were caught and arrested, and they were not the ones who filled up the prisons.
The president says he wants to wage a war on drugs, but if that's true, what we need is another D-Day, not another Vietnam.
The truth is, every major crime bill since 1976 that's come out of this Congress, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden, on that bill.
The Biden anti-crime bills are the toughest in a decade to pass the Senate. They bring all federal agencies, from the FBI to the Defense Department, into a direct attack upon illicit drugs. Delaware's own Joe Biden.
You must take back the streets. And you take back the streets by more cops, more prisons. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. So I don't want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street. They will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
That is white power. When you can destroy generations of a community with the stroke of a pen. Joe Biden was one of the most senior Democrats to push the Iraq War. 1 million dead. This is who we're dealing with.
So let's everybody make sure we understand one thing. If there is not a way to secure those weapons of mass destruction, this is an exercise in futility. If we can make the case that the threat is real and dire, that a free and democratic Iraq, if it could be accomplished, could have a cleansing impact on that part of the world and make our life easier significantly down the road if we do things right, that it is worth the price, opening a gate in a way to the part of the world that needs to, at some point on their own, come into the 21st century.
And then he kind of went quiet in the early 2000s, took a backseat during the Obama years. And then he completely lost it, like really, really lost it, right? My favorite Joe Biden clip is where he turns up to some press conference in Idaho and he's looking for the local congresswoman. And he's going, Jackie? Where's Jackie? Is Jackie here? Jackie? Where's Jackie? Jackie died, bro. Jackie died. She had been dead for a month. He had to apologize to the family. Completely lost his mind. You seen those heartwarming TikToks where there's like an old man with Alzheimer's and he's lost his memory and he doesn't know where he is. He doesn't recognize his own family. And then suddenly someone plays his favorite song and he comes back to life. That's what genocide has done for Joe Biden. All right? He was lost. He didn't know who he was, had the chance to greenlight a second Nakba, and Joe is back. The wonder years are back, baby. A lot of people want the Democrats to lose, understandably. A lot of people want the Democrats to be punished and to suffer a historic and humiliating defeat. And white liberals are very tense, right? They're like, is that what you really want? Is that what you really want? You want Trump to come back? You want Trump to win? What I want is for you to not lecture us on how to respond to a genocide you didn't try to stop, okay? You think that's a good idea? You think that's a good idea for your community? Because it's your community that's going to suffer if Trump comes back. People like you are going to suffer. What do you think of that? I think that a political system that ultimately makes you choose between genocidal dementia and cheeseburger-powered fake tan Hitler is a system worth overthrowing, okay? Maybe that is the conclusion you should be coming to instead of lecturing black and brown people on why they don't worship the Democrats, okay?